Trevor Benko here, CEO of TGB Supplements.
This is Ben Jordan, COO of TGB Supplements.
And today we're going to be talking about a drug called Provigil or Modafinil and our experiences with the drug and what we think could be some application to bodybuilding. Well, to start out, I would say we've experimented with this drug for probably the past 3-4 weeks, on and off. The first thing I noticed when researching it that it's supposed to increase awareness and alertness, mental acuity. A lot of politicians,
college students
use it. That's off-label use. It's used to treat sleep apnea, obstructive sleep apnea, narcolepsy, and anything else. People that shift work.
Yep.
A lot of times they can get a prescription for it.
Swing shifts.
Like I said, in our state or in our country, it's a prescription-only drug. I believe it's a Schedule 4, but in other countries, it's more of an over-the-counter. Supposedly, the movie Limitless was based off of a smart drug similar to Provigil. And that's kind of what piqued our interest. It's kind of getting to be more popular now in the supplement industry. Companies are using nootropics and starting to put them in pre-workouts and mental alertness products. So that's kind of what we kind of piqued our interest, and that's what made us give it a shot. You want to?
Yeah, my experience with it, the first time I took it, I took a quarter of a tablet. About a half hour afterwards, I felt like a pressure behind my eyes. It seems like that's a common side effect of that product. Then I started to notice the alertness, really good concentration. Seemed like I could think sharper, a lot faster, almost like it was robotic, lack of a better way to put it. You did the action or you just said the words. The first 3 or 4 days, my sleep patterns was a little bit off. It was a really hard time to get to sleep. I was tired, but like my mind was constantly racing. I'd say probably a good 3 or 4 hours past than when I would normally fall asleep. That's when I would start to fall asleep then. So just really all day type alertness. I went up to a half of a tablet. It started to get more intense with the effects, and finally I did the full tablet. Now that one I had a really hard time getting asleep, but the pronounced effects was very pronounced. Then after about a week, it seemed like it kind of started to fall off. I wasn't getting quite the same effects.
Yeah, when Ben said like quarter tablet is 50 milligrams. The tablets that we had were 200 milligrams. I believe the first one we used was Modafinil,
Yeah.
and then we ended up going to the Mode Alert from Sun Pharma. The Modafinil seemed a little bit more edgy, I guess you could say. Not
It's clean.
Yeah, not as clean feeling, I guess you could say. But they both did their job. My experience was I used a half a tablet consistently, on and off. I think the first time I tried it, I did a quarter tablet. Didn't feel a whole lot. I did back off the caffeine a little bit. Caffeine has a tendency to increase the side effects of Provigil or Modafinil. And by side effects, I mean like nervousness, sleeplessness, anxiety, racing heart, that kind of thing. Those are some of the typical side effects if you take too much or if you have a bad reaction to it. But like I said, for myself, my typical dose was 100 milligrams, a half a tablet, and at that dose, I definitely noticed some increase in alertness. It was pretty mild. I mean, nothing substantial. I mean, I pretty much felt normal. I was just a little bit more alert and able to do more work, so it increased my work capacity. Like Ben was saying, I did have a little bit of trouble sleeping at first, especially when I had extra caffeine on top of that. But I felt like more for myself. It was I could kind of turn it off as needed. If I felt like going to sleep, I could lay down and go to sleep. Or if I felt like working, I could work through the whole night if I wanted to. So. Overall, I kind of like it. I mean, I did notice that if I take it for more than 3 days in a row, I kind of start to get almost like a crash from it. I feel kind of down, run down. Definitely don't feel as good. It doesn't do the same thing.
Yeah, I had the same experience. I'd say there's probably somewhat of a tolerance buildup with the Provigil. Just like Trevor was saying, with the mood and everything, I noticed that as well. Didn't seem like you quite got that, I'll call it like a euphoria feeling from it. Just a good boost in mood. I take a lot of caffeine throughout the day. Trevor takes a lot of caffeine throughout the day. So it it definitely upregulates the potency. It seems like your pre-workout, so you could get more out of your pre-workout that way. You wouldn't have to take as much too.
Yeah, but I wouldn't go crazy. You got to be careful with the caffeine when you do take it. I definitely think it can make you a little bit more sensitive to it and more likely to be agitated or edgy. Another thing I noticed is you don't think about eating as much. Not that it messes with your appetite. It's just you're not really you're so focused on what you have to do and work. I know we're really busy, so for myself, I had to make myself kind of remember to eat. And if I wouldn't eat, I was more likely to feel like more of an agitated feeling. When I would eat, I would feel better. It was almost instantly. Usually that happened later in the day. It seems like it takes a little while to kick into. Like,
Yeah.
I normally don't notice it for like 2 or 3 hours after I take it.
Yeah, I actually seen a study to where the 200 milligram dosage on a day, they had an 18% reduction in caloric total intake for the day. They actually went up to 400 milligrams and they had a 39% reduction in the caloric total. So, I mean, there's kind of a little correlation there between the calories with taking the Provigil.
Yeah, that makes sense. A couple other uses, I guess, people that do use it. It's approved in the military for the United States Air Force to keep them alert. The pilots alert while flying. I think that it's been used by, I don't know if it's the Canadian astronauts,
Yep.
different astronauts, so they can get more work done and be more productive with their time.
Yeah, it's really popular with the students as well, doing a lot of college exams. They got to stay up longer. It just keeps them mentally sharp for the studies.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I think it has some benefits. I like it. I'll probably continue to use it on and off, maybe just once or twice a week at most. I think that's where it should be kept, in my opinion.
Yeah, it seems like there's a good tolerance built up. You don't quite get the same effects. I'd kind of say it'd be something like the 1,3-dimethylamylamine. You get a hard hit off of it, but you build a tolerance really quick. So it should be something that you should use sparingly.
And there's definitely a few supplements that could be used that are comparable without being a prescription drug. SNS Nutrition Solutions makes a product called New Pep XT.
Man Sports, they make the New Pep, the powder. It's a pump product with nootropics.
Yeah, Innova Farm has a good pre-workout called Limitless. I really like that one. Tastes good focus.
Yeah, and I think the Animus Omnicenti, it's a pill version too. That's pretty popular.
Yeah, I'd say the Omnicenti might be one of the closest things to Modafinil on the market. So those are some things you might want to try out if you're interested in a product like this. Give them a shot and see what you think. Overall, I think that pretty much covers it. If you guys have any questions or interested, you can email us at info@tgbsupplements.com. We'll attach our phone number below. And we may have a short article coming up on this as well in the near future. We got some more videos coming, so we'll see you soon.